Okay, y'all. So I got a goal to share with y'all. I was gonna post a little YouTube short and tell y'all yesterday, but I didn't. Didn't like the video. So I'm gonna tell you in a minute. Whew, it's water cold. So yesterday I had started this goal. I was thinking for a while. I've been wanting to read the Bible in Hebrew. Just see if I can do it. Which I already know I can pronounce all the letters, but I won't understand what they all mean. So it's similar to English, but I just, it's kind of like English because you'll be reading some words that you don't understand until you look up. And it'll be like that with Hebrew, except I won't understand most of them. So I decided to get started with this, or to help me get started with that I should start excuse me, a daily goal for a year, to read one verse in Hebrew a day, just one, just to get me started. And you know, so that's the plan. And I started it at like 1:20 or one something in the morning. So technically it's still the same day. It hasn't been a complete 24 hours yet, and I have not done it yet. So before I get started on the What Did God Say Only in Numbers, part 7, and finish up the book of Numbers, there's only 5 chapters left for me to do. And then I'll get to that. But before that, I'm going to do the other thing, read one verse in Hebrew, and y'all will get to see me struggle. And the Hebrew sound system that I'll be going by will be the Lashawan Kadesh Hebrew, which is the one that has the all A and I sounds. It will not be the modern Hebrew. So, I just gotta find a verse to read now. Am I using this one? No, I'm not. So I can use this one. I need all the Hebrew though. Technically, I can use this too. Yep. I would like to find a verse that has without blemish in it. So let me look for without blemish. Leviticus 4:14. Let's try that. Leviticus 4:14, maybe. Let me take this interlinear off. Let's see. 14. It does talk about a sin offering, but it doesn't say without blemish in this one. Maybe that's one of the ones that has the textual variant. I see one down here though, 22. I can use 23. I'll use that one. Okay, give me Leviticus 4:23. Oh, it's already here. Wow. Wait, it said Leviticus 22 through 23, not just 20. Oh, okay, I see 23 right here. Okay, cool. Dang, this look easy because it's not a lot. So, okay, let's see how this go. All right, I'm not gonna cheat either. I'm not gonna look at any Hebrew alphabet or sound systems or anything. I'm just gonna go from my memory and struggle. I think it's only gonna be two letters. I mean that I mix up the sounds of, and I might mix them up. We'll see. We'll see. It's kind of small. Let me make it bigger. Okay. All right, so verse 23 in Leviticus 4, from right to left. I'm gonna see how this go. Oh boy, let me mute you. Nobody trying to hear that. Okay, let's see. Okay, it says all, not all. Oh yes, that's how the W sound. All. Let's see. Haldai. I'm trying to say that last part. All y'all, or should I say? Yeah, that's tough because that W. I was gonna try to say maybe all A, and then try to figure out how to put the W behind it. But I think it's better to just say all y'all, like that. Um, hmm. Okay, we got the Chet, Ted, Aleph. So that would be Chatat. Maybe I should say Chata, Tau. I mean, some you could say it that way, but I'm trying to put that TH with it. The thal, Chata thal. Okay. Then we got Ashar, Chata. Oh, Chata again. Ba. Let's see. Trying to see if I can connect this instead of saying it all separate, because I can say it separate. Maybe I won't have to pronounce the H if I just say wa, but I want to wa. Nah, I gotta say the H too. Waha, Wahab, ya, or Wahaba, ya. Then we got the Oth, which they probably didn't even translate. Okay, that letter, I think that's the Ka sound. I'm probably wrong. It's not Pa. It's not the Pa sound. So I'm thinking it's the Ka, but I'll have to verify that. So I could be wrong on this one, but Car Banal. And this one is Shayar. How do I say that one? Got the Yam. Got that's the Z. The I and the Z. How am I say that? Eyes Yam. Okay, I guess I will say that. Zakar. I'm familiar with that word. And the last one is Thamayam or Tham Yam. But I prefer Thamayam. So okay, so I was able to read it, but I don't understand a lot of what these words mean. So when it comes to me reading and understanding, yeah, I don't understand what I just read entirely. So yeah, I'm gonna have to look up more definitions as time go on and keep reading it. But the only ones that I can say that I remember what they mean that I can see is Ashar, which is right here. That's it. That's the only one I can say out of all these words. That's not good. That's not good. So this one, can I double click it? Nah, they won't let me double click it. But let me get to Numbers 31. Finish these 5 chapters. Whew, man, tired already. Dang. Pages bent. Mm-hmm. Numbers. Gonna be done with this book, thank God. Okay. All right, so it says, the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, avenge the Israelites on the Midianites. Afterward, you shall be gathered to your people. So Moses said to the people, oh, that's all God said right there. Okay. I thought it was going to be more, maybe. Well, so Moses said to the people, arm some of you. I'm doing terrible already. Arm some of your number for war, so that they may go against Midian to execute the Lord's vengeance on Midian. You shall send 1,000 from each of the tribes of Israel to the war. So out of the thousands of Israel, 1,000 from each tribe were conscripted, 12,000 armed for battle. Moses sent them to the war, 1,000 from each tribe, along with Phinehas, son of Eleazar, the priest, with the vessels of the sanctuary and the trumpets for sounding the alarm in his hand. They did battle against Midian as the Lord had commanded, and killed every male. They killed the kings of Midian, Evi, Rekem, Zer, Hur, and Reba, the 5 kings of Midian, in addition to their 2 others who were slain by them. And they also killed Balaam, son of Beor. Dang, I didn't know he died. Wow. Okay. Well, that sucks. With the sword, the Israelites took the women of Midian and their little ones captive. Hmm. Okay, wait a minute. Oh man, I might as well get this thing real quick too. Dum, 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 dum. Okay, 9. The Israelites took with the women of Midian and their little ones captive, and they took all their cattle, their flocks, and all their goods as booty. Interesting. Then it says all their towns where they had settled and all their encampments they burned. But they took all the spoil and all the booty. All the booty. Okay, then it says both people and animals. Then they brought the captives and the booty. And the spoil to Moses, to Eleazar the priest, and to the congregation of the Israelites at the camp on the plains of Moab by the Jordan at Jericho. Moses Eleazar the priest and all the leaders of the congregation went to meet them outside the camp. Moses became angry with the officers of the army, the commanders of thousands, and the commanders of hundreds who had come from service in the war. Moses said to them, "Have you allowed all the women to live? These women here on Balaam's advice made the Israelites act treacherously." Ooh, man. From Balaam's advice? I didn't know it was his advice either. That's a good verse. Okay. Act treacherously against the Lord in the affair of Peor. So that must be why Balaam also was killed too. Then it says, so that the plague came among the congregation of the Lord. Wow. Interesting. I'm too sleepy to write too many notes, but that one I think I might get. Then 17, now therefore kill every male among the little ones, and kill every woman who has known a man by sleeping with him. But all the young girls who have not known a man by sleeping with him, keep alive for yourselves. So he said, now therefore kill every male among the little ones. Okay, so sound like all the boys had to die. And every woman who has known a man, yeah, okay. Then it says, but all the young girls who have not known a man by sleeping with him, keep alive for yourselves. Camp outside the camp 7 days. Whoever of you has killed any person or touched a dead corpse, purify yourselves and your captives on the third and on the seventh day, you shall purify every garment, every article of skin, everything made of goat's hair, and every article of wood. Eleazar the priest said to the troops who had gone to battle, this is the statute of the law that the Lord has commanded Moses. Gold, silver, bronze. Okay, let me read that again. 21, Eleazar the priest said to the troops who had gone to battle, this is the statute of the law that the Lord has commanded Moses. Gold, silver, bronze, iron, tin, and lead, everything that can withstand fire shall be passed through fire, and it shall be clean. Nevertheless, it shall also be purified with the water for purification. And whatever cannot withstand fire shall be passed through the water. You must wash your clothes on the seventh day, and you shall be clean. Afterward, you may come into the camp. Oh, so I don't think I need to. I guess I'll get it. Verse was that 30? Oh, 20, 21. Okay, now 25. God is going to talk again. Lord spoke to Moses, saying, you and Eleazar, the priest, and the heads of the ancestral houses of the congregation make an inventory of the booty captured, both human and animal, divide the booty into two parts between the warriors who went out to battle and all the congregation. From the share of the warriors who went out to battle, set aside as tribute for the Lord one item out of every 500, whether persons, oxen, donkeys, sheep, or goats. Take it from their half and give it to Eleazar the high priest as an offering to the Lord. But from the Israelites' half you shall take one out of every 50, whether persons, oxen, donkeys, sheep, or goats, all the animals, and give them to the Levites who have charge of the tabernacle of the Lord. Then Moses and Eleazar the priest did as the Lord had commanded. Okay, so he stops talking in 30. Hmm. 31. So it says, then Moses and Eleazar the priest did as the Lord had, as the Lord had commanded Moses. The booty remaining from the spoil that the troops had taken totaled 675,000 sheep, 62,000 oxen, 61,000 donkeys, and 32,000 persons in all, women who had not known a man by sleeping with them. The half share, the portion of those who had gone out to war, was in number 337,500 sheep and goats, and the Lord's tribute of sheep and goats was 675. The oxen were 36,000, of which the Lord's tribute was 72. The donkeys were 30,500, of which the Lord's tribute was 61. The persons were 16,000, of which the Lord's tribute was 32 persons. Moses gave the tribute, the offering up before the Lord, to Eleazar the priest, as the Lord had commanded Moses. As for the Israelites' half, which Moses separated from that of the troops, the congregation's half was 337,500 sheep and goats, 36,000 oxen, 30,500 donkeys, and 16,000 persons. From the Israelites' half, Moses took one of 50, both persons and of animals, and gave them to the Levites who had charge of the tabernacle of the Lord, as the Lord had commanded Moses. Then the officers who were over the thousands of the army, the commanders of thousands and the commanders of hundreds, approached Moses and said to Moses, your servants have counted the warriors who are under our command, and not one of us is missing. And we have brought the Lord's offering. What each of us found, articles of gold, armlets and bracelets, signet rings, earrings, and pendants to make atonement for ourselves before the Lord. Moses and Eleazar the priest received the gold from them, all in the form of crafted articles, and all the gold of the offering that they offered to the Lord from the commanders of thousands and the commanders of hundreds was 16,750 shekels. The troops had all taken plunder for themselves. So Moses and Eleazar the priest received the gold from the commanders of thousands and of hundreds, and brought it to the tent of meeting as a memorial for the Israelites before the Lord. Okay. I do want that plague information, but I'm gonna just keep reading. Let me see. I'm too tired. I want to write it, but I'm too tired. So it says 32. Now the Reubenites and the Gadites owned a very great number of cattle. When they saw, let me get something to drink. When they saw that the land of Jazer and the land of Gilead was a good place for cattle, the Gadites and the Reubenites came and spoke to Moses, to Eleazar the priest, and to the leaders of the congregation, saying, Ataroth, Dibon, Jazer, Nimroth, Heshbon, Eleale, Sebam, Nebo, and Beon. Then it says, the land that the Lord subdued before the congregation of Israel is a land for cattle, and your servants have cattle. They continued, if we have found favor in your sight, let this land be given to your servants for a possession. Do not make us cross the Jordan. But Moses said to the Gadites and to the Reubenites, shall your brothers go to war while you sit here? Why will you discourage the hearts of the Israelites from going over into the land that the Lord has given them? Your fathers did this when I sent them from Kadesh Barnea to see the land. When they went up to the Wadi Eshcol and saw the land, they discouraged the hearts of the Israelites from going into the land that the Lord had given them. The Lord's anger was kindled on that day, and he swore, saying, surely none of the people. Okay, let me highlight this right here. This is verse 9. Yeah, 9. 32, 9. The Lord had given it. Oh, 10 actually. The Lord's anger was, and he swore. Okay, I'm gonna highlight that. Saying, surely. Okay, I'm gonna read from the website now. I mean, the app. Surely none of the people who came up out of Egypt from 20 years old and upward shall see the land that I swore to give Abraham to Isaac. Well, to give to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. I didn't put a two in between give and Abraham the first time. Because they have not unreservedly followed me, none except Caleb, son of Jephunneh, the Kenizzite, and Joshua, son of Nun, for they unreservedly followed the Lord. And the Lord's anger was kindled against Israel, and he made them wander in the wilderness for 40 years until all the congregation, all the generation that had done evil in the sight of the Lord had disappeared. So let me highlight the rest of that. All right. So 14, did I read 14? Nah. And now you, a brood of sinners, have risen in place of your fathers to increase the Lord's fierce anger against Israel. If you turn away from following him, he will again abandon them in the wilderness, and you will destroy all his people. Then they came up to him and said, we will build sheepfolds here for our flocks and towns for our little ones, but we will take up arms as a vanguard before the Israelites until we have brought them to their place. Meanwhile, our little ones will stay in the fortified towns because of the inhabitants of the land. We will not return to our homes until all the Israelites have obtained their inheritance. We will not inherit with them on the other side of the Jordan and beyond, because our inheritance has come to us on this side of the Jordan to the east. So Moses said to them, if you do this, if you take up arms to go before the Lord for the war, and all those of you who bear arms cross the Jordan before the Lord until he has driven out his enemies from before him, and the land is subdued before the Lord. Then after that you may return and be free of obligation to the Lord and to Israel, and this land shall be your possession before the Lord. But if you do not do this, you have sinned against the Lord, and be sure your sin will find out. And be sure your sin will find you out. Oh, find you out. I left out you. Okay, I'm like, okay. Build towns for your little ones and folds for your flocks, but do what you have promised. Then the Gadites and the Reubenites said to Moses, your servants will do as my Lord commands. Our little ones, our wives, our flocks, and our livestock livestock shall remain there in the towns of Gilead. But your servants will cross over, everyone armed for war, to do battle for the Lord, just as my Lord orders. So Moses gave command concerning them to Eleazar the priest, to Joshua son of Nun, and to the heads of the ancestral houses of the Israelite tribes. And Moses said to them, if the Gadites and the Reubenites, everyone armed for battle before the Lord, will cross over the Jordan with you, and the land shall be subdued before you, then you shall give them the land of Gilead for possession. But if they will not cross over with you armed, they shall have possessions among you in the land of Canaan. The Gadites and the Reubenites answered, as the Lord has spoken to your servants, so we will do. We will cross over armed before the Lord into the land of Canaan, but the possession of our inheritance shall remain with us on this side of the Jordan. Moses gave to them the Gadites and to the Reubenites and to the half tribe of Manasseh, son of Joseph, the the kingdom of King Sihon of the Amorites, and the kingdom of King Og of Bashan, the land and its towns, with the territories of the surrounding towns. And the Gadites rebuilt Dibon, Itaroth, a rower, at Roth, Shofan, Jazer, Jogbeha, Beth Nimrah, and Beth Haran, fortified cities, and folds of sheep, or sheep, okay. And the Reubenites rebuilt Heshbon, Elealeh, Kiriatham, I said that right, Nebo, and Baal Meon, some names being changed, and Sibmah, and they gave names to the towns that they rebuilt. The descendants of Machir, son of Manasseh, went to Gilead, captured it, and dispossessed the Amorites who were there. So Moses gave Gilead to Machir, son of Manasseh, and he settled there. Jar, son of Manasseh, went and captured their villages and renamed them Havoth Jar. And Nobah went and captured Kenath and its villages and renamed it Nobah, after himself. All right. 33. These are the stages by which the Israelites went out of the land of Egypt in military formation under the leadership of Moses and Aaron. Moses wrote down their starting points stage by stage by command of the Lord, and these are their stages according to their starting places. They set out from Ramesses in the first month on the 15th day of on the 15th day of the first month. On the day after the Passover, the Israelites went out boldly in the sight of all the Egyptians, while the Egyptians were burying all their firstborn, whom the Lord had struck down among them. The Lord executed judgments even against their gods. So the Israelites set out from Ramesses and camped at Succoth. They set out from Succoth and camped at Etham, which is on the edge of the wilderness. They set out from Etham and turned back to Pi or Pi, Haroth, which faces Baal Zephon, and they camped before Migdol. They set out from Pi Haroth, passed through the sea into the wilderness, went a 3 days journey in the wilderness of Etham, and camped at Marah. They set out from Marah, and came to Elim. At Elim, there were 12 springs of water and 70 palm trees, and they camped there. They set out from Elim and camped by the Red Sea. They set out from the Red Sea and camped in the wilderness of Sin. They set out from the wilderness of Sin and camped at Dophkah. They set out from Dophkah and camped at Alush. They set out from Alush and camped at Rephidim, where there was no water for the people to drink. They set out from Rephidim and camped in the wilderness of Sinai. They set out from the wilderness of Sinai and camped at Kibroth Hadavah. They set out from Kibroth Hadavah and camped at Hazeroth. I almost lost my place. They set out from Hazeroth and camped at and camped at Rithmah. They set out from Rithmah. I'm gonna just keep it that way. And camped at Rimmon Perez. They set out from Rimmon Perez and camped at Libnah. They set out from Libnah and camped at Rizah. They set out from Rizah and camped at Kihil. Oops, I went down. Kihi. Dang, I had it, but I didn't say it. Kehelatha. They set out from Kehelatha and camped at Mount Shepher. They set out from Mount Shepher and camped at Haradah. They set out from Haradah and camped at Makiloth. They set out from Makiloth and camped at Tahath. They set out from Tahath and camped at Tirah. They set out from Tirah and camped at Mith. That's not, I guess you could say Mith, but yeah, I can say Mithka. That's how I'll say that. They set out from Mithka and camped at Hashmonah. They set out from Hashmonah and camped at Moseroth. They set out from Moseroth and camped at Beni Jakan. Nah, I'm gonna say Jakan. Yeah. They set out from Beni Jakan and camped at Hor Haggai. I mean, it's a D at the end. Okay, Hagid Gad. Okay, there we go. They set out from Hor Hagid Gad and camped at Jad Batha. They set out from Jad Batha and camped at Arbronah. They set out from I put the R in front of the B. They set out from Abronah. That's how you say it. I say R anyway. Abronah and camped at Ezion Geber. They set out from Ezion Geber and camped in the wilderness of Zin, that is Kadesh. They set out from Kadesh and camped at Mount Hor. On the edge of the land of Edom. Aaron the priest went up Mount Hor at the command of the Lord and died there in the 40th year of the Israelites. I had to make sure I read it right. Had come out of the land of Egypt. On the first day of the 5th month, Aaron was 123 years old, when he died on Mount Hor. The Canaanite, the king of Arad, who lived in the Negev in the land of Canaan, heard of the coming of the Israelites. They set out from Mount Hor and camped at Zalmonah. They set out from Zalmonah and camped at Punan. They set out from Punan and camped at Obath. They set out from Obath and camped at Ayi Abarim in the territory of Moab. They set out from Ayim. Wait, did it just change the name? Or maybe they're just continuing on from, okay, never mind. They set out from Ayim and camped at Dibon Gad. They set out from Dibon Gad. Yeah, I think they changed the name on that last one. But, okay. They set out from, what was I at? I think I was on 46. They set out from Dibon Gad and camped at Almon. Oh, this is the big one right here. Almon. Oh man, I wish it wasn't separated like that. Cause let's see. Almondai Blathaim. That's the big one. They set out from Almon Diblathaim and camped in the mountains of Abarim before Nebo. They set out from the mountains of Abarim and camped in the plains of Moab by the Jordan at Jericho. They camped by the Jordan from Beth Jeshimoth as far as Abel Shittim in the plains of Moab. In the plains of Moab by the Jordan at Jericho, the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, speak, let me highlight that. So it says, in the plains of Moab at the Jordan, the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, speak to the Israelites and say to them, when you cross over the Jordan into the land of Canaan, you shall drive out all the inhabitants of the land before you, destroy all their figured stones, destroy all their cast images, and demolish all their high places. You shall take possession of the land and settle in it, for I have given you the land to possess. You shall apportion the land by lot according to your clans. To a large one you shall give a large inheritance, and to a small one you shall give a small inheritance. The inheritance shall belong to the person on whom the lot falls. According to your ancestral tribes, you shall inherit. But if you do not drive out the inhabitants of the land from before you, then those who you let remain shall be as barbs in your eyes and thorns in your sides. They shall trouble you in the land where you are settling, and I will do to you as I thought to do to them. Man, okay. Okay, 34. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, command the Israelites and say to them, okay, God is talking again. Okay, command the Israelites and say to them, when you enter the land of Canaan, this is the land that shall fall to you for an inheritance, the land of Canaan defined by its boundaries. Your south sector shall extend from the wilderness of Zin along the side of Edom. Your southern boundary shall begin from the end of the Dead Sea on the east. Your boundary shall turn south of the ascent of Akrabim. I ain't put the B in there. Akrabim, and crossed to Zin, and its outer limit shall be south of Kadesh Barnea. Then it shall go on to Hazar Adar. Okay, then it says, and cross to Asmon. The boundary shall turn from Asmon to the Wadi of Egypt, and its termination shall be at the sea. I need some more water. For real. Okay, where are we at now? 6. For the western boundary you shall have the great sea and its coast. This shall be your western boundary. This shall be your northern boundary. From the great sea you shall mark out your line to Mount Hor. From Mount Hor you shall mark it out to Lebo Hamath. And the outer limit of the boundary shall be at Zedad. Then the boundary shall extend to Ziphron, and its end shall be at Hazar Enan. This shall be your northern boundary. You shall mark out your eastern boundary from Hazar Enan to Shepham, and the boundary shall continue down from Shepham to Riblah on the east side of, I was going to say Ayin, but I wouldn't be pronouncing A-N. And the boundary shall go down and reach the eastern slope of the Sea of Chinnereth, and the boundary shall go down to the Jordan, and its end shall be at the Dead Sea. This shall be your land with its boundaries all around. Moses is talking in 13. Highlighting all that. Okay. That was a lot. Moses commanded the Israelites, saying, this is the land that you shall inherit by lot, which the Lord has commanded to give to the 9 tribes and to the half tribe, for the tribe of the Reubenites by their ancestral houses, and the tribe of the Gadites by their ancestral houses have taken their inheritance, and also the half tribe of Manasseh, the 2 tribes, and the half tribe have taken their inheritance beyond the Jordan at Jericho eastward toward the sunrise. The Lord is going to talk again. What verse is that? 16. All right. So this one says, the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, these are the names of the men who shall apportion the land to you for inheritance. The priest Eleazar and Joshua son of Nun. You shall take 1 leader of every tribe to apportion the land for your inheritance. For inheritance. These are the names of the men of the tribe of Judah: Caleb son of Jephunneh; of the tribe of Simeon, of the Simeonites, Shemuel son of Ammihud; of the tribe of Benjamin, Elidad son of Chislon; of the tribe of the Danites, a leader, Bukai son of Joglai; of the Josephites; of the tribe of the Manassites, a leader, Hananiel son of Ephod; and of the tribe of the Ephraimites, a leader, Kemuel son of Shiftan. Of the tribe of the Zebulunites, a leader, Eli Zaphan son of Azan; and of the tribe of the Asherites, a leader, Ahihud, son of Shelomai. Of the tribe of the Naphtalites, a leader, Pedahel, son of Ammihud. These were the ones whom I wonder, it probably don't make no difference if I say who or whom. The Lord commanded to apportion the inheritance for the Israelites in the land of Canaan. So, from 16 to 28. Okay. Almost finished. That's what's up. So 29 is the last chapter. I mean verse. 35. In the plains of Moab, by the Jordan at Jericho, the Lord spoke. Okay, the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, command the Israelites to give from the inheritance that they possess towns for the Levites to live in. You shall also give to the Levites pasture lands surrounding the towns. The towns shall be theirs to live in, and their pasture lands shall be for their cattle, for their livestock, and for all their animals. The pasture lands of the towns which you shall give to the Levites shall reach from the wall of the town outward 1,000 cubits all around. You shall measure outside the town for the east side 2,000 cubits, for the south side 2,000 cubits, for the west side 2,000 cubits, for the north side 2,000 cubits, with the town in the middle. That makes sense. I figured it was going to be in the middle somewhere, so they can all come to it. But then it says, this shall belong to them as pasture land for their towns. The towns that you give to the Levites shall include the sixth addition. To them you shall give 42 towns. The towns that you give to the Levites shall total 48 with their pasture lands. And as for towns that you shall give from the possession of the Israelites, from the larger tribes you shall take many, and from the smaller tribes you shall take few. That makes sense. Each in proportion to the inheritance that it obtains shall give of its towns to the Levites. The Lord spoke. Oh, so God didn't stop talking, basically. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, speak to the Israelites and say to them, when you cross the Jordan into the land of Canaan, then you shall select cities to be cities of refuge for you, so that a slayer who kills a person without intent may flee there. The cities shall be for you a refuge from the avenger, so that the slayer may not die until there is a trial before the congregation. The cities that you designate shall be 6 cities of refuge for you. You shall designate 3 cities beyond the Jordan and 3 cities in the land of Canaan to be cities of refuge. These 6 cities shall serve as a refuge for the Israelites, for the resident or transient alien among them, so that anyone who kills a person without intent may flee there. But anyone who strikes another with an iron object and death ensues is a murderer. The murderer shall be put to death. All right. Or anyone who strikes another with a stone in hand that could cause death. And death ensues is a murderer. The murderer shall be put to death. Anyone who strikes another with a weapon of wood in hand that could cause death and death ensues is a murderer. The murderer shall be put to death. The avenger of blood is the one who shall put the murderer to death when they meet. The avenger of blood shall execute the sentence likewise, and someone, if likewise, if someone pushes another from hatred or hurls something at another, lying in wait, and death ensues, or in enmity strikes another with the hand, and death ensues, then the one who struck the blow shall be put to death. That person is a murderer. The avenger of blood shall be, not shall be, but shall put to death. Oh, it is a shall be. I didn't think. Wait, did I skip a line? I'm gonna read 21 again. I think because it's a line right under that that says shall put, and one right above it says shall be put to death. So I don't know. I think I skipped a line. 21. Or in enmity strikes another with the hand, and death ensues, then the one who struck the blow shall be put to death. That person is a murderer. The avenger of blood shall put the murderer to death when they meet. But if someone pushes another suddenly without enmity, or hurls any object without lying in wait, or while handling any stone that could cause death unintentionally, drops it on another and death ensues, though they were not enemies and no harm was intended, then the congregation shall judge between the slayer and the avenger of blood in accordance with these ordinances, and the congregation shall rescue the slayer from the avenger of blood. Then the congregation shall send the slayer back to the original city of refuge. The slayer shall live in it until the death of the high priest, who was anointed with the holy oil. But if the slayer shall at any time go outside the bounds of the original city of refuge, and is found by the avenger of blood outside the bounds of the city of refuge, and is killed by the avenger, no blood guilt shall be incurred. Yeah. For the slayer must remain in the city of refuge until the death of the high priest. But after the death of the high priest, the slayer may return home. These things shall be a statute and ordinance for you throughout your generations, wherever you live. If anyone kills another, the murderer shall be put to death on the evidence of witnesses, but no one shall be put to death on the testimony of a single witness. That's good. That's smart. Moreover, you shall accept no ransom for the life of a murderer who is subject to the death penalty. A murderer must be put to death, nor shall you accept ransom for one who has fled to a city of refuge, enabling the fugitive to return to live in the land before the death of the high priest. You shall not pollute the land in which you live, for blood pollutes the land. Good to know. Good to know. And no expiation can be made for the land, for the blood that is shed in it, except by blood of the one who shed it. You shall not defile the land in which you live, in which I also dwell, for I, the Lord, dwell among the Israelites. All right. So God pretty much talked that whole chapter. So let me just highlight all that. Man, this chapter long. Jeez. Highlighting everything. Oh, last one. Okay, so here we go. Dang, I need something to drink. I'll be back. Let me go get this drink real quick. And we're gonna read. I'm gonna read this baby. Marriage of female. Okay. And the building. And the building. Little dude. I be tripping. For real. Be tripping. 36. Verse 1 in the building. It says, the heads of the ancestral houses of the clans of the descendants of Gilead, son of Machir, son of Manasseh. Turn the page in the building. Okay. Son of Manasseh of the Josephite clans came forward and spoke in the presence of Moses and the leaders, the heads of the ancestral houses of the Israelites. They said, the Lord commanded my Lord to give the land for inheritance by lot to the Israelites, and my Lord was commanded by the Lord to give the inheritance of our brother Zelophehad to his daughters. But if they are married into another Israelite tribe, then their inheritance will be taken from the inheritance of our ancestors and added to the inheritance of the tribe into which they married. So it will be taken away from the allotted portion of our inheritance. And when the Jubilee of the Israelites comes, then their inheritance will be added to the inheritance of the tribe into which they have married. And their inheritance will be taken from the inheritance of our ancestral tribe. Then Moses commanded the Israelites according to the word of the Lord, saying, the descendants of the tribe of Joseph are right in what they are saying. This is what the Lord commands concerning the daughters of Zelophehad. Let them marry whom they think best. Okay, wait a minute. I gotta highlight that. I like the way that words it too. Let them marry who they think best. Don't we do that today? Don't we do that? Some of us anyway. Hey, boy. All right, what verse is that? 5. Okay. Moses commanded the Israelites according to the word of the Lord, saying, I think I'm gonna have to highlight this. I'm gonna just highlight it just in case. Mm-hmm. Okay. Got it. Let them marry whom they think best. Only it must be into a clan of their father's tribe that they are married, so that no inheritance of the Israelites shall be transferred from one tribe to another. For all Israelites shall retain the inheritance of their ancestral tribes. Every daughter who possesses an inheritance in any tribe of the Israelites shall marry one from the clan of her father's tribe, so that all Israelites may continue to possess their ancestral inheritance. I said something else. I don't know what I said, but it wasn't that. I don't think. No inheritance shall be transferred from one tribe to another, for each of the tribes of the Israelites shall retain its own inheritance. So all that, that's what God commanded right there. All that. Yeah, I think I'm gonna highlight all that. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna highlight all that. Mm-hmm. 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 There we go. Make the highlight show. Boom. Okay, we're good. We're good. Let me see what that looks like. On the back, can't see nothing. That's what I'm talking about. Gel twistable highlighters. Okay, here we go. Pen. The daughters of Zelophehad did as the Lord had commanded Moses. Mahlah, Tirzah, Haglah, Milcah, and Noah, the daughters of Zelophehad, married sons of their father's brothers. They were married into the clans of the descendants of Manasseh, son of Joseph, and their inheritance remained in the tribe of their father's clan. These are the commandments and the ordinances that the Lord commanded through Moses to the Israelites in the plains of Moab by the Jordan at Jericho. Word. Say word. Can I get a word? Can somebody say word? Can I get? No, I'm just messing. Word. Say word. Can I get a word? Can anybody say word? Word in the building. You know what I'm saying? In the building. These are the words that Moses spoke to. Oh, okay. I thought God was starting to talk already. I was like, is that God talking already? Wait, I do want to get one note though. If I don't get nothing else, I gotta go back and get one thing. You know what I'm saying? In the building. 35, 34, 33, 32. Somewhere in here. I think it's like, wait, what was that? Oh, that's a heading. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, it's right around here. It's about that plague. It's about that plague. I can just type in plague if I need to. Mm-hmm. And kill every male. Okay. Okay, yeah, we're getting there. When do Moses talk? Yeah, right here. Here we go. Mhm. Yep. 15. Okay, right around there. 15. 30. 30. 30. I think I'm a bookmark in there, right? Yeah, it should be good. 45, 47. Moses became angry with the officers of the army. In 14, the commanders of thousands. I think I'll start at 13 and come down. Then in 15, Moses said to them, have you allowed all the women to live? These women here on Balaam's advice made the Israelites act treacherously against the Lord. That's the part that I want right there. You know what I mean? I want it in blue. I don't want it in pink. No, I don't want that blue. I want this one. Yeah, I want this one right here. This one right here. This one right here. Okay, this is Numbers 31. I'm gonna say 13. In the building. Where am I stop at? Let me just read real quick. Okay, I know I want to get 16. I think I'm good if I just get it through 18. That should be good. Yeah, I don't need all that. Hmm. Okay, I'm trying to make sure I get these notes right. Oh yeah, I gotta get that one too. Um, okay, now 15, the main part. My pen is not writing too good. It's like the ink. I don't like it. I don't like it. Okay, I'm getting hot now. And then it's weird. As soon as I took it off, I got cold. That's weird. But anyway, um, I gotta turn the page and continue on with these notes because it's a lot. It's a lot. Okay, so these women here on Bala, I gotta make sure I get that. Gotta make sure I get that. That's important right there. Balam was a trip. Okay, so Balam and bias catch. Dang, so I need to. How did I word it just now? I think I worded it wrong. I showed it. So These women, on Balaam's advice, made the Israelites act treacherously. How do you spell treachery? Where's that word? I've never had to spell that word. Oh, there it is. Oh, okay, got it. I thought I had it. Okay. Got it now? Did I get that? Let's see. Okay, got it. And then it says, so that the plague came among the congregation. Oh, I gotta get that too. That is a good little statement there, or phrase. So the plague came on them. Love it. I want to find out exactly when that happened, because I wanted to know that too when it happened, but I was tired. I was like, no, I'm good. Numbers 31. What I want to look for is the word plague. Numbers 31:16. Nah, not that one. One before. That must be the one. Or was it? Let me see. After the plague, the Lord said to Moses and to Eleazar, son of... Wait, what's that? Whoa. No, that ain't the one. I think it's yeah, that ain't it. It's 25. There we go. 25:8 is the first mention. Okay. And it stopped in number 16, verse 50. Well, okay, so Numbers 25:8. Take me there. Take me there, boy. 25:8. Ooh. 7. And then 8. He went after the Israelite man into the tent and pierced the two of them, the Israelite and the woman, through the belly. So the plague was stopped among the people of Israel. Okay, stop right there. Nevertheless, 24,000 died. Okay. I gotta read from verse 1. Yeah, this is okay. Verse 1. While Israel was staying at Shittim, the people began to have sexual relations. Just letting everybody know I'm done reading Numbers, but I'm just getting this extra part in my notes. And let's see. While Israel was staying at Shittim, the people began to have sexual relations with the women of Moab. These invited the people to the sacrifices of their gods. Oh, that's so slick. That's so slick. I didn't notice the way they worded it the first time. That's so slick. This reminds me of how people can be peer pressured into doing stuff that they shouldn't do, whether it's smoking weed, um, becoming gay or bisexual. Like they're invited to things, or they start going to places like gay clubs, and next thing you know, they gay. It starts with stuff like that, and it reminds me of when it said that, because I know somebody that started going to gay clubs, and next thing you know, they was gay, and now they married to somebody of the same sex. Starts like that. So anyway, these invited the people to the sacrifices of their gods, and the people ate and bowed down to their gods. Thus Israel yoked itself to the Baal of Peor, and the Lord's anger was kindled against Israel. The Lord said to Moses, "Take all the chiefs of the people and impale them in the sun before the Lord, in order that the fierce anger of the Lord may turn away from Israel." And Moses said to the judges of Israel, "Each of you shall kill any of your people who have joined themselves," well, yoked, same thing, "who have yoked or joined themselves to the Baal of Peor." Just then, one of the Israel, oh, and that's when that happened. Got it. And that is the plague. That they didn't say that is the plague, but that is the plague. Like, come to find out, because 6, I'll just read on down to it, to where it says it was stopped. So it doesn't say from verse 1 to 6 so far that it was a plague in Israel yet, unless I'm mistaken. But you can see it, that was the plague. And then it says, just then one of the Israelites came and brought a Midianite woman. Let me read 5 real quick and keep going down. I just want y'all to hear 5, and then I'm gonna come down. It says, and Moses said to the judges of Israel, "Each of you shall kill any of your people who have yoked themselves to the Baal of Peor." Just then one of the Israelites came and brought a Midianite woman into his family, in the sight of Moses and in the sight of the whole congregation of the Israelites, while they were weeping at the entrance of the tent of meeting. Oh, that's what I was looking for. Okay. When Phinehas, son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, saw it, he got up and left the congregation, taking a spear in his hand. He went after the Israelite man into the tent and pierced the two of them, the Israelite and the woman, through the belly. So the plague, that's when the word plague comes in. So the plague was stopped among the people of Israel. Nevertheless, those that died by the plague were 24,000. Mm-hmm. I'll just read a little bit more. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, son of Aaron, the priest, has turned back my wrath from the Israelites by manifesting such zeal among them on my behalf, that in my jealousy I did not consume the Israelites. Therefore say, I hereby grant him my covenant of peace. It shall be for him and for his descendants after him a covenant of perpetual priesthood, because he was zealous for his God and made atonement for the Israelites. The name of the slain Israelite man, I'm probably butchering the word Israelite right now. I'm saying it fast, but whatever. Israelite man who was killed with the Midianite woman was Zimri, son of Salu, head of an ancestral house belonging to the Simeonites. The name of the Midianite woman, if I didn't say it right, who was killed was Cosbi, daughter of Zer, who was the head of a clan and ancestral house in Midian. And what else does it talk about? Let me see this. The Lord said to Moses, harass the Midianites and defeat them, for they have harassed you by the trickery with which they deceived you in the affair of Peoria. They did. And in the affair of Cosbi it doesn't say by, the daughter of a leader of Midian, their sister, she was killed on the day of the plague that resulted from Peor. Mm, mm, mm. Okay, so I got what I want. So we're gonna get numbers 25, 1 through 10. Yeah, I'm gonna be 1 through 10 or 1 through 9. 1 through 9. That'll work. I don't even feel like taking up so man. I'm gonna just leave it right there. 5 and 6. No, 4. 4 through 5. 4 through 7. 4 through 8. I said I wasn't gonna take no notes, but I am. Still doing it. I'm done. Deuteronomy next. Man, thank God I made it. Deuteronomy. And how many chapters is Deuteronomy? I think 34, maybe. I don't know. Let's find out. Find out right now. Where you at, Deuteronomy? I'm gonna find out. You know what I mean? We're gonna find out right now. Okay, it's 34. That's what I thought. Okay, cool. I just gotta figure out how I'm gonna divide that. I don't know, because I was trying to do 5 chapters a day, but that's 34. I could still do 5 chapters a day, and then at the last chapter, just do 4 chapters, or do 4 and then start the first chapter of Joshua. I'll figure something out. But I'm out of here though. Peace be to the saints. I don't think I have. Well, I'm sure I can think of something else to share, but I'm good. I'm gone. Let me get out of here. Take my sleepy butt on off. This camera, you know what I'm saying? Let me get on up out of here. All right, y'all. Peace be to the saints. That was a good book, though. That was a good book. For real. For real. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Okay, let me get out of here.